Tonight, you'll scroll through your phone in bed, 40 contacts, 3 group chats blinking, and still, somehow, you'll feel like nobody's really there. That feeling has a name. Scientists say it might be quietly killing you, but the real answer is far stranger than sadness. Loneliness isn't just an emotion, it's a survival alarm. Your body built it millions of years ago for a world that no longer exists, and it doesn't know the difference between then and now. Think about hunger for a second. Hunger exists to make you eat before you starve. It's uncomfortable on purpose. Loneliness works the same way, except instead of warning you about food, it's warning you about something your ancestors needed just as badly: the group. For most of human history, being alone didn't mean a quiet evening, it meant death. A lone human on the savannah couldn't watch for predators while sleeping, couldn't share the kill from a hunt, couldn't pull warmth against the cold. A person cut off from the tribe rarely lived long enough to pass on their genes. So evolution did something ruthless. It wired isolation to feel like pain, so you'd never wander too far from the group again. Neuroscientist John Cacioppo spent decades studying exactly this alarm system. He found that loneliness activates the same brain regions as physical pain, not similar regions, the same ones. When you feel left out, your brain reacts the way it would to a cut or a burn. Cacioppo called this the loneliness effect, and he showed it doesn't just feel bad. It changes how your entire body operates. Here's where it gets stranger. When you're lonely, your body assumes you're in danger, not metaphorical danger, real, physical danger. Your ancestors who were separated from the group were more likely to face predators, attackers, or the elements alone. So your nervous system still responds to loneliness by quietly shifting into a defensive state. Cortisol rises, blood pressure creeps up, sleep gets lighter and more fragmented because deep sleep is only safe when someone else is keeping watch. Do you see the trap yet? The very state meant to protect you from being alone makes it harder to enjoy being with people once you finally are. A lonely brain, primed for threat, starts reading neutral faces as unfriendly. A pause in conversation feels like rejection. A slow text reply feels like proof you don't matter. This isn't weakness. It's an ancient defense system misfiring in a modern world it was never built for. Researcher Julianne Holt-Lunstad wanted to know just how serious this misfire really was. So she analyzed data from over 300,000 people across dozens of studies. Her conclusion made headlines everywhere. Chronic loneliness increases your risk of early death by an amount comparable to smoking 15 cigarettes a day, comparable to obesity, comparable to physical inactivity. Let that sit for a second. Loneliness isn't just uncomfortable. Your body treats it as a physical health crisis on par with the things doctors have warned us about for generations. Why would isolation carry that much weight? Because for nearly all of human history, it was a legitimate predictor of death. If you were separated from your group 200,000 years ago, your odds of surviving the week dropped fast. Evolution doesn't distinguish between "I feel disconnected on social media" and "I've been abandoned in the wilderness." To your deep, ancient brain, both signals mean the same thing: you are exposed. Here's the twist most people never expect. Loneliness has almost nothing to do with how many people surround you. You can stand in a packed office, surrounded by coworkers, and still register as isolated to your own nervous system. You can live with a partner, sit beside them every night, and feel a distance your body reads as danger. Meanwhile, someone living alone in a quiet cabin, deeply connected to a handful of real relationships, can feel completely secure. The ancient alarm doesn't count bodies in the room. It measures something else entirely: whether you feel truly seen. This is what researchers call the difference between social isolation and loneliness. Isolation is about numbers. Loneliness is about perception. And it's loneliness, the felt sense of disconnection that your body actually reacts to. So, what did ancient humans do that we've quietly lost? Anthropologists studying small foraging societies noticed something consistent. People spent enormous amounts of time simply near one another, not scheduling quality time, not planning meaningful conversations, just existing in shared physical space, doing tasks side by side for hours every day, cooking together, walking together, sitting around a fire long after the food was gone, with nowhere else to be. Your ancestors' brains got a steady drip of safety signals all day long, the sound of someone else breathing nearby, the presence of another set of eyes watching for danger. None of it required effort or intention. It was just the texture of daily life. Compare that to now. You might message dozens of people a day and still spend most of your waking hours physically alone, staring at a screen that simulates connection without providing the raw, ancient signal your nervous system is actually listening for presence. This is why a video call, however clear the audio, doesn't fully satisfy the alarm. Your ancient brain is still scanning for cues it evolved to trust: body heat, shared air, the unconscious mirroring of another person's movements. A screen gives you information, it doesn't give you presence. Harvard psychiatrist Robert Waldinger led one of the longest studies ever conducted on human happiness, tracking hundreds of men for over 80 years. The question behind it all was simple: what actually makes a good life? The data pointed to one answer: above wealth, above fame, above career success. The strength of your close relationships predicted how healthy and how happy people were decades later, not the number of friends, the depth of a few real ones. Which brings you back to your phone lighting up in the dark. Every notification promises connection. Very few of them deliver the thing your body is actually asking for. A like isn't presence. A group chat isn't shared air. Your ancient alarm system is still running the same program it ran for 200,000 years, and it cannot be fooled by a screen, no matter how many contacts are on it. So, what do you actually do with an alarm this old? You don't silence it, you answer it the way it was designed to be answered. Not with more messages, with more presence. A shared meal, a walk beside someone, no destination required. Sitting quietly in the same room as someone you trust, doing nothing in particular. These aren't small, sentimental gestures. They're the exact signals your nervous system evolved to depend on for survival. Maybe that's the strangest part of all of this, the thing that feels like an emotional inconvenience, easy to scroll past, easy to numb with another notification, is actually one of the oldest and most urgent messages your body can send you. It isn't asking you to be interesting. It isn't asking you to be impressive. It's asking you to be near someone who makes you feel safe. Tonight, you'll scroll through your phone in bed. 40 contacts, 3 group chats blinking. And for the first time, maybe you'll understand exactly what that quiet, hollow feeling is actually trying to tell you.